welcome back to another episode of Rambles on Record. I think that I'm going to leave this episode fully unedited. I'm going to try my best to not stutter and stammer and pause like I usually do, because what happens is I will stammer and pause and do this and that, and then I'll have to go in and cut all those parts out. But I'm going to try my best to keep it unedited. And I think from now on, that's how I'm going to do it. Just in the spirit of the podcast itself, the idea of it just being a straight ramble from beginning to end. I think part of that is just I'm a little bit lazy, as well as I'm trying to have these out by a specific time, and as of right now, I want this to be January's last upload, and it is right at the tail end of January. So I want to talk about a couple of different things. Sorry, I had to burp. I really wanted to talk about upload because I had wanted to do more this month than I had done usually. I was hoping to have something out each week, but that just didn't happen. And a lot of that is just the motivation discussion that I brought up with, I think, the first episode of this show. I have been very demotivated with everything, and it's not the idea of not wanting to do videos. There's a lot of videos that I want to do. It's just having the time to do it and putting forth the effort to do it always feels like a very large task. But I want to try more and more and more. I'm going to try and push myself this coming month, but I can't make any promises. I'm kind of tired of making promises and not fulfilling them. So I'm going to have to change a good couple of things about that. I really do want to have more videos out coming in February and onward. A lot of that is going to be about how I can write scripts, though, because the way that I'm going to start doing things is I'm going to have everything that isn't one of these episodes be a scripted video and have a full-on script with my full-on thoughts throughout, and then I can just read that script, do whatever actions I need to do, and go from there. That should cut out a lot of time, because a lot of my time is spent stuttering and stammering and saying something that I didn't think sounded good and having to go back and re-record something. So if I have a script and I can read off that script from now on, then that's how I'm going to do things. I really do want to have more videos out next month. I really want to make more media videos and long form critiques of stuff, because I keep talking about, action figures, and that's an 8-minute video and takes me a month to make one of those. But there's a lot of shows and movies that I really want to talk about, and I really need to get to making scripts about that kind of stuff. So I'm going to have to find some time to work on some scripts these coming weeks, and I might try to just take full days to sit down and go over a list of ideas and try to chop down through that list and say, okay, well, here's a script about this idea that I wanted to talk about, here's a script about that, and try to make about 3 of them without making them super simplistic and super bad, to be frank. I feel like that's the one thing that I worry about with that, is if I try to make this kind of stuff on a very assembly line kind of, in a very assembly line kind of fashion, then the quality of everything is going to diminish. If I keep making more and more content, is it going to be good content, or is it going to be the definition of content where it's like a product? It's just a thing that I put out there without putting true effort into it. I want to make things that I have full intent and full effort on, So that's a big thing with that. That's been about the biggest mental health thing with me this month, was just feeling like I haven't pushed myself to make enough videos and I haven't made something worthwhile. And I really need to change that. I really need to put more time into trying and making something with this when I have free time. I spend a lot of time doing things that are just the same old, and I need to break out of that cycle. I need to start making videos because that's what I really want to do. I play a lot of games with my friends at this point, and May and Toast and everyone, and I don't want to say that that's a problem though, spending time with friends, because that's how you grow a friendship, but at the same time, I'm putting too much time into that and not into making videos. I put a lot of effort into that, even though it's simpler. I put a lot of time into just playing games and not even turning that into streams or anything. I'm just playing games to play games. And we keep falling into these patterns because they're simple patterns that we can fall into. That's something that just needs to be changed. It just needs to be changed. Especially on my end, I need to change that. Sorry if I've been a little quiet. I did not have my mic all the way up, so hopefully that fixed it. But that's something that I need to fix going forward, and that I feel like that'll help me a lot with making videos if I spend more time scripting things at night or even during the day, or even just cutting how much time I play at night. That has been the biggest mental health thing with me though, is feeling like I don't have the time to do the things that I want, but having that time to do the things that I want and just using it in the wrong spot. And I need to find a way to break out of that habit. As mean-spirited as that might sound, that's just how it is. I live my life, the way I'm looking at it now is I'm living my life basing it off of strictly it is that easy dopamine, that easy rush of dopamine. I'm looking for that, and I need to be doing more self-fulfillment. I guess that's the word I'm looking for. I do need to live life a little bit more selfishly in that way, because I'm looking for something simple and I'm trying to be there for other people, and I need to be slightly more selfish. Not entirely selfish, but slightly. I need to play less and I need to work on videos more. That's how I'm kind of viewing it. If I'm playing, I need to be trying to stream it, I'm thinking. But I think that's one thing that I'm just gonna have to figure out myself. And it's literally, I just enjoy playing with them so much that I know I'm gonna have a good time playing with them, but at the same time I'm not taking the time that I can take to work on the things that one of the things that I've wanted to do for such a long time. And the way I'm looking at it now is it's a chore for me to do instead of a thing that I want to do. And I don't know why I view it as a chore. I just do. And I need to change that. I really need to change that. But that's the biggest thing with mental health this year. I guess this year so far, this month. This month I really haven't had a lot to write home about, honestly. I've been very good. It's been a very good year so far. And I'm excited to see how the year goes forward, though I'm a little terrified too at the same time. But this year has been, or this month has been very good to me so far. Good night. Nothing like December. Nothing like December. So that's a big improvement. I've been able to talk to people more and my friends more, and that's helped me feel a lot better as of late. I am out of the job that has been driving me insane as well. So that's a huge step in the right direction. Sorry, I had to burp again. So, yeah, I think that I'll talk about jobs for a little bit. Last year was the tail end of last year was a very big, very strange time. Very, very strange time, especially when it came to my work, because I had been jumping from. Excuse me, sorry, I keep burping. I don't know what it is. It was a very weird time for me to be working because I had spent so much time just hopping from place to place, and I was looking for full-time employment when I really should have been focused on the fact that I need to be figuring out what I want to do in the future. So when you are, I'm trying to think of the motivational thing to say. When you're looking for work, don't stay somewhere just because you feel like you have to. If you got to go somewhere else, go somewhere else. If you're not being treated right, go somewhere else. And you need to find a place that you can work or that treats you right. You have to find a place that treats you right. I've for the past month, I've been in a place that's been treating me right, and I had been there for a year and a half before. So I really should have just stepped down from the position that I was in. But at that point in time, I was looking for more employment, more work, more cash. So that's a big thing with finding a job, is just finding a place that treats you right. There are plenty of places that will treat you bad, but there are also plenty of places that will treat you right. And I've been treated very well at my job that I'm in currently, and Anna has been treated very well in the place that she's at currently. So it's very refreshing this year, at the start of this year. Very last couple weeks of last year have been such a change, such a wildly intense change. But I'm hoping that it's changed for the better. I'm hoping that this year is good. I'm starting the year with a very positive mindset. I'm feeling much better. I know last episode was a very somber one where I was just talking about how alone I felt, but I don't feel that anymore. And it feels a lot better. I'm doing a lot better this year. I'm just having a lot of issues with pushing myself to make videos. That's why more stuff hasn't been coming out recently. It's not. I need a little water. Sorry about that. It's not that I don't want to make videos anymore. I want to make videos. It's just I wish it was effortless, and I wish everything was effortless, but nothing is effortless. There's something that I've written. I have a couple whiteboards in my rooms. There's something that I've written on the whiteboard that is right in front of me every day I wake up. And it says, "Dreams are not easy, but that's what makes them worth fighting for." And I don't know if I've heard that somewhere before. I don't know where that came to me from, but I do think that's a good way to live life. Nothing is easy, and we live in a world where everything is just given to us, especially on things like social media. Dopamine is at the tip of your finger, and you just have to look it up, and you'll find something that will give you some bit of dopamine. This is for the how do I word this correctly? This is for a lot of, a lot of the I don't know how to word this, because I'm thinking about it. I'm like, man, that just doesn't sound right for people that have depression, and that's not the kind of vibe I'm trying to go for. It's just a lot of our culture is very much so centered around watching a video or seeing photos or looking something up, and it's just, oh yeah, this is exactly what you're looking for. This is, easy gratification, that kind of thing. And especially in like a bunch of video games, it's just easy gratification, just searching for the next thing that'll give you that. And it really does mess up a lot of people. And that's how we have, if you ask me, that's how we have a lot of people that, I'm not going to go there. I'm not going to go there because that's not the right place to go. So I apologize for that. But I do think we live in such a culture now that incentivizes easy dopamine and easy gratification. And I've been searching for my easy gratification rather than going to look for something that can give me a deeper sense of fulfillment. And I need to get back to that. I need to get more. I need to text more. I always feel like I can't just text people. I feel like I have to sit there and talk to them. The only time I can talk to people is when I'm on a call with them. That's the issue. I feel like if I just text everyone, then I'm going to be overwhelmed. Sorry about that. I don't know how much of this y'all are hearing, but I'm having the worst gas right now. But I really want to make more videos, and I need to push myself to make more videos. That's the problem that I'm facing right now, is I'm not pushing myself enough to make these videos. But this is the one thing, and I've been dreading this. I have been pushing off this episode for days now, and this might be the shortest one that I'm going to put out for a while, because I really don't have much to say. But that's the thing, I've been stressed about this, and I can't explain why. Because I want to make stuff like this. It's just, I feel like I need to relax. It's weird. How do I describe this correctly? I keep thinking about this and I keep going, I can do it later, or I don't want to do that right now. When I just sit here behind a microphone, why is this something I fear? Why is this something I'm scared to do? That's what I don't understand. I sit here and I look at it and I say, I don't want to do that right now. I want to do it later. Leave it for future me to do. And I really need to stop doing that, because what I'm doing isn't that difficult. Just sitting here talking to a microphone. I don't understand. I think it is that easy gratification. This is not something that I can just do easily by sitting here and messing around on a keyboard for a bit. It's something that I have to sit here and talk about, and I don't like talking that much. It's just, this is just things that go on in my head, just voicing it. It's so strange, and I hate that part of me that fears everything, that fears doing the simplest stuff. This is such a simple thing for me to do. Sorry if you just heard my phone go off. Literally, I'm just sitting here and I'm just talking, and I'm not gonna cut any of this down. I'm just gonna put it right up, because at this point, this is one of those things where it's just, I'll just do it raw. We'll just do it live. We'll just do it live. I hate that that comes from a man that I don't like. Good lord. But yeah, I don't get it. I don't get it anymore. I don't understand my own brain. I'm quite tired of it. I'm quite tired of not understanding what goes on in my own head. It's really funny for me to sit here and say all this because at the very core of everything, I'm okay. This month has been good. I've seen Anna a lot more. I've been around my friends a lot more. And I've been doing well. I have been doing very well. I feel a lot better than when I started this year. I don't understand it. It's so funny to me because I'm genuinely in a better spot than I was last year. Very end of last year, I should say. Well, half of last year. Last year was rough. I'm really hoping that I can make 2024 better because I I am the master of my own year. I am the master of my own fate. And that's how life is. That's how it is. We decide how things go for us. And to sit here and say that we don't, that it's that everything is predestined for us is in a way the wrong way of looking at things because it's not entirely right. It's not entirely right because a lot of that drags the responsibility away from us and the what's the word I'm looking for? There's a specific word that I'm looking for. Oh, goodness gracious. Drags the autonomy away from us, I think. I think that's the word I'm looking for. If we keep saying that everything is predestined, we sit here and say that we have no decision in what our life is, and we do. I think we do at least. I think that we determine our own fate, and it's quite beautiful. I think that that's quite a wonderful thing. I think there's a lot of. I think we have a lot of our own responsibility, or we have all of our own responsibility, truthfully. And the thing about that is that because we have that responsibility, we can learn from it. I think that's how we should look at it. Yes, you might have done something and that's how you did it, but that gives you a chance to learn for the future. And we all make mistakes. We all make our own mistakes, and rather than saying that it's a predestined thing that is meant to happen in the wide, vast chaos of our earth, it's something that we have to take accountability for and learn from. I think we have to learn from all of our own actions. And the way we learn from things is how we become better people. Again, this is another very rambly episode. But that's the point of it, ain't it? Ain't it? I mean, I called it Rambles on Record for a reason. I also want to talk about a couple other things with just the channel in general, because there's a lot of things that I noticed. First of all, thank you for every 33 of you that are out there and subscribe to the channel. I do appreciate that. Even if it is 33 people, I didn't think I'd have more than 5, if I'm honest with you. So I'm ever so grateful for that. And I'm also ever so grateful for the fact that we have 1.7 thousand views on my Chainsaw Man video. Again, that's another stupid thing that I threw out in the world. It's not even my best edited video. It's a very plainly edited video, but it has 1.7 thousand views. I could never have imagined that I would have gotten to that point. And I am so beyond grateful for everyone that watched that video. So thank you. I noticed these videos are also getting actual views, like more than 10. So I didn't expect this to go anywhere, really. I expected this to be for me and maybe Anna if she wanted to get an understanding of how I act when I'm just me at my mic. So, thank you again for all that. I do appreciate that. It's wild to me. It's really wild. On one of my last couple streams as well, one of my Lethal Company ones, a new viewer named Sign, they asked about a Discord channel, or a Discord, they were asking about Discord. What I've decided to do is I'm making a Discord channel. I'm probably going to have to link that here in the next week or so. And it'll be very early for now, but there will be new items, or there'll be new little things in there. There will be just discussions and whatnot. So if you'd like to join, I'll have that up in a week or so, hopefully. It'll be in the about, and I'll try to make an actual update video on that when it truthfully releases, or when I truthfully connect it to the channel. Sorry, y'all. I don't know what it is tonight, but yeah, that'll be coming soon as I can get it. So I hope to have that posted very, very soon and have constant updates on it. You know, new group chats and new discussion places and new things going on. I can't promise that I'll always be attentive to it because I do have other things to do and other obligations that I have, especially like when it comes to work and when it comes to family stuff and so on and so forth. I can't, can't promise I'll always be on there. So I hope to talk to a lot of y'all. I would love to talk to a good amount of my subscriber base because I don't know a lot of y'all, and I'd love to get to know y'all at least a little bit. Maybe that's wishful thinking. I don't want to get too parasocial with things, but yeah, I want to make a lot of changes this year and this coming month because I haven't changed a lot from last year, sadly. I think the monthly uploads have to change. Maybe I can do bi-weekly. We'll start there. Baby steps. That's another big thing. Baby steps. You have to make little steps to get to the big places that you want to be at. I know that very well. So, yeah, that's a lot of what I wanted to talk about. I have a lot of this past month was, or this we're still in the month that this episode is releasing. This month, I ended up getting a lot of action figures. So there will not be a drought of things to talk about on the channel. Though I may have to halt on acquiring more for a period of time. I know I'm having to right now. And I will just see how many more I can get in the future. I need to start saving a little bit more with this year. So if I get more action figures that are like bigger things, it'll be as a treat. So we'll see where that goes. I do need to be doing more content as well, though. I need to start playing Pal World. I want to play Pal World. I see a lot of that game on like YouTube and not Twitch. I don't use Twitch. YouTube. I use a little bit of Instagram and a lot on TikTok. I want to play some of that sometime soon, but I have to wait a little bit for that too. So I will see what other games I can play for now. I need to play Psychonauts 2. I have Psychonauts 2. I never played the first one. I heard the second one was really good, though. I need to play Psychonauts 2, and I don't think I'm going to touch Jedi Fallen Order anytime soon. I got that because it was cheap. I don't know how much I'm going to play that. But yeah, I have plenty of ideas on what I want to talk about on the channel. I really want to talk about Has Been Hotel when that wraps up, because it has been a very strange show. But there are things that I really enjoy about it. I really have enjoyed the show, unironically. But there's a lot of things that I can say about it that aren't exclusively positive. I want to make a real big video on that when that finishes up. I need to rewatch some of the older episodes that have come out. The first 6 probably. I need to finish those first. But I think that's going to be the first thing that I'll talk about that's like media. Because I've been watching that for a while now. I've been keeping up with that whole series for a while. And I really want to see how that plays out, because I truthfully think I have a lot to say about animation. So I'll talk about the surface level stuff. Animation is such a intensely difficult thing to learn that it shocks me, and it is genuinely something incredible when someone that isn't even in like the big parts of the industry, like Viv is a YouTuber, not really a YouTuber, but she's made incredible art and incredible animation and put it all on YouTube. And it's crazy to see something that was just a YouTube show blow up and actually become something that's on a streaming service, even if it is Amazon Prime where everything goes. It's incredible to see that it's an officially branded Amazon Prime thing that they picked up and they said they wanted to fund and this and that. It's incredible to see that someone on YouTube was able to do that. And I think a lot of the episodes of like Hell of a Boss as well have had incredible animation. And I want to talk about that, because it's not the show itself, and the story of the show has good parts, but it's not all entirely positive. There are some issues with it, but it is also still incredibly good. I think a lot of people look at the show as either something that is entirely heinous or entirely good. There are very few people that I see that come at it from a middle ground. I do see a lot of YouTube or like animation YouTubers, and they'll talk about it from a middle ground, and they'll say, oh yeah, there's some good, but there's still some bad and this and that. That's about where I see it. That's what I see a lot of as well. Or I see a small chunk of, actually, I should say. I see a couple animation YouTubers talking about it, but a lot of what I see is overflowing love for the show. And then on the other side, I see all of the drama surrounding the show. And it's people just saying that they just hate her, that they just hate the creator, they hate Viv. I'll never understand it. I know that I've heard that there's some drama about it, but I've never really, this is probably where I messed up. I haven't looked into a lot of the drama. I'm trying to look at the art as art. I'm trying to look at it separate from the creator, even though the creator is going to have their fingers in it at all times. You will see parts of the creator in the show. I'm trying to look at the show as a show itself. I'm not trying to sit here and critique the person that made the show entirely. I've seen a lot of her responses to people critiquing the show being very volatile, to say the least, which is interesting, though I don't have her perspective on making the series, so I can't say much there. But I really do want to cover the series. I think it's an interesting series, and I think it has a lot of concepts that are good. but there are parts of it that don't interest me quite as much. So I want to cover all that and talk about it because I think it is good to sit down and say this art isn't fully perfect, but that's okay. There are things that you can like about it and not like about it, but you have to learn from the things that you don't like about it. You can't sit there and say thing bad, thing bad, thing bad, and not talk about what they could do to change it. So there's plenty to talk about with the show, and I really want to talk about the show because I think it's interesting. Again, I do think it's an interesting show, and I think Viv did an excellent job with the show. But there are still things that I'm not entirely fond of, and that's perfectly fine. Other people are gonna be fond of that kind of stuff, and I'm just not. That's just how life is. People have differing opinions, and it makes us beautiful. It makes us a beautiful species. But I do want to talk about it still because I think it's an interesting show, and I'd like to. There are some things where it's like, I wish you would lean more into this. This is something I find really interesting, say, because I really like the backstory of Hell. I think that's incredibly interesting. The lore of Hell is wildly different from, what we know, and it's incredibly interesting. I'd love to see more of it. I'd like to see less of redoing old tropes, like in episode 2 of the show. One of the characters has that it's episode 3. I'm not confident in myself arc, and I think that's just boring. I just think it's one of those things where it's like, I understand that you need to have a character, or you want to have a character that's not confident in themselves, and yeah, it's just overdone to me. I'm gonna move on because I think that's enough about that series. But I think I'm actually gonna just end it there. Because again, I don't have a lot to talk about this episode. And things have been generally really good. I'm trying to look at this year from a positive perspective and say this is a year of opportunity, and things have started off very well. There have been bumps in the road where I haven't been at my best, but I can change that. And I want to change that. And I need to start finding a way to change that. So this year is going to be good. I'm going to try and make it good. I'm going to try and make it as good as I possibly can. That will be it for this episode. Again, this will probably be the shortest. And from now on, I'm going to try and keep these as unedited as possible, or I'm going to leave them unedited, see if I can't make things work smoother in the future. So thank you again for listening. I know a lot of people aren't going to listen to this, but the few of you that are listening, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. This truthfully is just for me to get these bed thoughts out of my head. But there are people that have an interest in this, and I appreciate that. So thank you again, and I hope you'll come back for the next episode. And if you enjoyed this, then please subscribe, because I'm going to try and have more stuff out soon. And if you'd like to see what I usually post, please check it out on the channel. I don't like to shill, but it is important for me to shill. So again, thank you for listening, and I hope to catch you guys later.